Hello, welcome to our October Littleton Common show. I'm Barbara McRae, and I want to apologize for the raspy voice, but it's all part of the treatment I'm getting right now. Hopefully, my voice will be as good as new for the November show. But this month, my friend Linda Fialkoff will bring you the news. And here's Linda.
Thanks, Barbara. It's my pleasure to be here and give the news today. And I hope all of you will stay with us after the news is over for this month's guest, Senator Jamie Eldridge. Senator Eldridge will be joining us later in the show, and I was looking up his bio online and noticed that he has done a lot of work with the elderly and the poor. He's been at work with nonprofits and has a generally excellent resume. Looks like an incredible guy, and I hope you'll stick around and listen to what he has to say. Are you getting out to look at the fall foliage? New England is so beautiful. It's breathtaking. I know around where I live, everything's turning, and it's just a great time of year to be out. We have a day today that's like heaven. I hope after you see the foliage, you'll come to the thrift shop and see the beautiful fall and winter merchandise. You cannot imagine what Barbara McRae is wearing today. Mark, can you get a shot of Barbara's incredible shoes and outfit that she bought at the thrift shop? I hope the audience can see that there's a beautiful purple bow attached to those shoes and incredible purple blouse. I myself got a Chico's outfit for like $3. It's just an amazing place. Thanks to some wonderful volunteers, the thrift was emptied out and put back together with all new donations. So there's even more great stuff there right now. Take the time to come in and see what there is and buy, because it will not empty your pocketbook. If you have gently used coats for men, women, and especially children, and you won't be using them, consider donating them to the Air Shirley Lions Club Coat Drive. You can bring them into the North Middlesex Savings Bank in Air and Shirley, October 11th through January 8th. So that gives you a good length of time to get out those extra coats. You know, the ones that you said you would get rid of last year? Well, now is the time to give them to someone else and help them keep warm. Everyone's trying to save money or cut corners these days, and the Council on Aging is no exception. In the past, we've been receiving our senior broadcast newsletter through the mail. However, that gets very expensive, and it's going to change in January. If you want to get the newsletter, you can pick it up at the Council on Aging, Donnellan's. Hope this isn't an inconvenience. But maybe you can pick one up for a friend or a neighbor who can't get out, take a few and pass them around. We don't want to miss anyone, but we can't keep on mailing them out. The library's having its annual book sale in the Vincent Cooper Room on October 14th from 2 to 8 p.m. That's October 14th from 2 to 8. So if you have books that you've been holding on to, this is a great way to let them go and know that they're going to a good cause. Let's see, it's also going to be Friday, October 15th, so it's the 14th and 15th, and on Friday, it's 4 to 8 rather than 2 to 8. Saturday, it's October 16th from 10 to 3, so there's a longer period of time on Saturday from 10 to 3. There'll be plenty of books. I hope we still read, don't we? Oh, so bingo's back every Friday afternoon from 1 to 2:30. You have to meet at the Senior Diner for bingo. There's no need to sign up. You can just come on over and enjoy. It's open. If you like movies and you want to enjoy them with friends, consider coming to the Council on Aging at 230 Shattuck Street at 1 p.m. on October 28th for Letters to Julia. I saw that movie. It was really fun, very uplifting. It's only a $2 donation, and a lot of fun to bring a friend and watch a movie at the COA. Painting with water classes will start on Wednesday, October 13th, and that will be from 9 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. Cost is $30, very inexpensive, and the class will last 6 weeks. Call the Littleton Council on Aging for more information on that watercolor class if you'd like to attend. It's 978-540-2470. Are you interested in knowing more about Mahjong? I actually recently found out about Mahjong from a friend who told me that it's a great way to keep your brain from getting Alzheimer's. She just felt it was very challenging and really enjoyed it. Join the classes on Wednesday, October 6th and Friday, October 8th from 1 to 2 p.m. Call Millie at 978-486-3707 to sign up. And then we have the Senior Citizens Club holding its October meeting on Monday, October 18th at 1:30 p.m. The program will be a portrayal of Mary Queen of Scots, performed by Muriel Dias. Did I pronounce that right? Of Lunenburg. Yeah, Mary Queen of Scots, very interesting lady. The program will take place in the multi-purpose room with the refreshments in the senior diner, which you know is a very awesome place. All are welcome. Call Peg Kazusek at 978-486-4432. We have more, but first, here's Gail with news from the senior diner. Gail?
Senior diner for the month of October. I can't believe summer's over. My baby is now off at school, so I am now an empty nester. So I might be a little crazy, okay? I might even cry. Just tell me funny stories. Okay, for the month here in the kitchen, on October 13th will be the Minuteman Senior Services birthday lunch. So if your birthday falls in October, come on down and they'll pay for your lunch. And the COA provides a beautiful birthday cake that everyone says is absolutely delicious. And we make fun of everyone. We put hats on you, sing happy birthday to you, embarrass you, and everything like that. So it's fun. Okay, and the men's breakfast will be on October 20th. The ladies' breakfast will be this October 14th. I will say December. I don't know if anybody got that. Mark will know. And the potluck will be October 22nd, a Friday. All potlucks are going to be on a Friday. And everybody, bingo is a huge success here on Fridays. Please come in early so you can get your seats, because everybody wants to sit in the same spot. And if new people show up, they might take your seat, okay? And we can't tell them to get up and move. That'd be rude, okay? And the movie will be on October 28th, and as I've heard through the grapevine, that the movie critics are still discussing what movie it should be, okay? So we'll have signs up throughout the building, and I'm sure Barbara will let us know when the movie critics all get together. All right, everybody, hope to see you in October.
Thanks, Gail. A few months ago, Barbara asked that entertainers who wish to be in the guide contact her so she could add your name to the book. We have a lot of talented people in our town, and although it's easy to go on the web, some of us still like to check listing in a guide. So please send your name, address, phone number, and what you do to Barbara at bjtrm, that's bjtrm at AOL.com. Let's get this list going and put that talent to use. And while we're on that subject, Mr. Ernest Stackpole is looking for musicians 60 years and older, thank you, to play big band music. If you play piano, bass, drums, saxophone, trumpets, or trombone, please call Ernest at 978-486-3335 for more information. The Cannon Theater at 410 Great Road, Littleton offers free admission to Littleton seniors for their dress rehearsals. If you like plays, this Littleton Theater group will surely entertain you. I think that's an awesome opportunity. Call 978-760-3397 for more information. Let's go to Indian Hill and Evanthea Valakis to hear what is happening there this month. Evanthea?
Starting our chamber music series over at the Kaleidoscope Gallery in Groton on Saturday, October 16th. You won't want to miss this concert. It's violinist Malcolm Lowe, concertmaster Maria Soul, teaming up with pianist David DeVoe in a recital Saturday, October 16th at 8 p.m. at the Kaleidoscope Gallery in Groton. For more information and tickets, 486-9524, or check us out online at indianmusic.org for more information. Box Lunch Concert, our free monthly series that we have here. We have two shows on Thursday, October 21st, beginning at 11 a.m. and then at 1:30 p.m. And this month we've got a lively program of traditional Irish music with the fiddler, Ronald Harkin, and friends. So that's going to be a great bunch of concerts. Two shows Thursday, October 21, 11 and 1:30 for Box Lunch. find out more, check us out online and get the news at 4 on 486-9524. Hope to see you here in Canton.
Sorry, Barbara. Barbara just told me and sorry, Evanthea. It's Evanthea. Barbara's normally doing this program, knows all the names, and I'm apparently slaughtering everybody, so my apologies. Evanthea, what a beautiful name. The Council on Aging has a trip to Foxwoods this month. On Wednesday, October 26th, the bus leaves Littleton at 8:30 a.m. and will return around 5:30. Cost is only $22 per person, but you have to call in advance for a reservation at 978-540-2470. I think that's incredibly cheap, and who doesn't like to go to Foxwoods? You can sign up for the November 19th trip to Providence Performance Arts Center to enjoy Radio City Rockettes Christmas Spectacular. Price is $79 per person. Payment must be made by November 12th. Now that's also, I think, an amazing offer. I saw the Rockettes when I was a kid and at Radio City, and I just think it's wonderful that you can just go to Providence on a bus for $80 round trip plus your ticket. And again, call in advance by November 12th, 978-540-2470. Tina Mader's Living Alone support group will meet on Thursday, October 21st in room 230. Time for this meeting is 10:30 to 11:30. Call Tina at 978-540-2472 if you want more information about that. Anne-Marie Rose's caregiver support group will meet on November 4th at 4 p.m. That goes from 4 to 5:30 in room 233, Littleton Council on Aging. The clinics this month are as follows: blood pressure at the Senior Diner, Tuesday, October 12th, 11 to noon. Podiatry clinic, Tuesday, October 26th, 9:30, room 233, $25 for the podiatry clinic. The flu clinic, Thursday, October 28th, for Pine Tree Park residents only. That's Pine Tree Park residents only, and that's from 10 to 11. I'm assuming those are covered. Also, there will be a townwide flu clinic in room 103 at the town office building on Shattuck Street, October 12th from 11 to 1. So no excuses not to get your flu shots. There's lots of opportunity. And the First Baptist Church of Littleton is holding its second annual Fall Holiday Fair on Saturday, November 20th from 9 a.m. to 3. Product demonstrators, quality crafters, and artisans are invited to rent a space for this wonderful fair. It's a great event every year. Call Ann Lee at 978-486-4075 or email charlieandannlee@gmail.com if you want more information about that. On October 10th, you can kick off the Go Greener Challenge at St. Andrew's Church in Air and learn simple, cheap energy saving steps and enter to win a trip for two at the Appalachian Mountain Club's Highland Center in Crawford Notch, New Hampshire. Wow, that's really cool. Join them at 2 p.m. to learn simple, cheap energy saving steps and enter to win the trip. Visit www.standrewsair.org to register. Lots of opportunity here, folks. Littleton Country Gardeners' October 26th meeting will be on xeriscaping. Hope I pronounced that right, Barbara. Suzanne Bouchard, owner of Lady Slipper Landscaping, will be the speaker. Learn how to keep your gardens flourishing when water is scarce. And judging by what happens this summer, I think that's fairly important. Call Sandra Casali at 978. Mark's going to fill in the number, I hope, because I don't have it. But it's Sandra Casali if you're interested in this program. The Veterans Luncheon will be held on Tuesday, November 9th in the multipurpose room in the Shattuck Street building. All veterans are welcome free of charge. If you're a guest and not a veteran and you'd like to attend, it's going to be $15, which is not so bad. Make checks out to friends of the Council on Aging. Sign up at the Council of Aging office by October 29th and call 978-540-2470 to sign up. And just a note to remind you that the town office building will be closed on Monday, October 11th, which is Columbus Day. There will be no Meals on Wheels, and the senior diner will be closed for the holiday. On October 29th, Senator Eldridge will be at the Council on Aging at 1 p.m. in room 230. With him will be Secretary Ann Harstein for a listening session and an update on state levels. Please stop by and join us. Now, please stay with us, and you'll hear Barbara's guest for this month, who's Senator Jamie Eldridge, who we already mentioned. Senator Eldridge.
It's getting harder and harder to watch the news these days. With foreclosures, health insurance, taxes, jobs few and far between. It's harder looking at the shrinking bank account, especially when you're a senior on a fixed income. Things are happening all around us here in Massachusetts and our country, but today we're going to concentrate on our own territory. And I'm happy to have Senator Jamie Eldridge here with us today. Welcome.
Barbara, thanks for having me on the show.
I want to say, first of all, I want to give you credit and others credit for running for any office today.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Because, boy, there's a lot going on.
There is, yes.
There is a lot going on, and first of all, though, I want to hear if you feel satisfied with, accomplishing some of your campaign goals.
Well, I think we accomplished a fair amount in this session, but I'm never satisfied. That's why I'm, running again and hope to serve for many, many years, because I think ultimately there's so many problems to be addressed, so many challenges, and that's part of what I love about the job, but there's always more work to be done. But I think this session, it began with some of the mistakes of some of my colleagues, some of the scandals, and so I was a strong fighter for ethics reform, for making budget decisions in government more transparent. But I was also someone that realized that we needed to have more of an economic development vision to create jobs. I'm happy that now Massachusetts is creating more jobs than it was a year ago. I recognize there's still a lot of people unemployed, but we are in a net positive state now in terms of creating jobs. So my focus has been on alternative energy, life sciences, biotech, high tech. So bringing companies like IBM to Littleton and Westford has been great. And I think this area is, because of its educated workforce, because of its infrastructure, is attracting companies, but we need to have state policies to encourage more of that. I've been very focused on that as well.
Well, that's great, because that is very, very important. One of my concerns, of course, is the casino issue.
Yes. Oh, yeah, mine too. Yep.
And 3 casinos, please. I'm thinking.
Plus 4 slot machines at racetracks. Yep.
Yeah, and they're saying that, this is going to create jobs, and I'm thinking, but we're losing this many jobs.
Exactly.
And you're saying you're going to create jobs, but really, where does it balance? Because, no. And I'm not happy about the jobs that it'll create, as a matter of fact. And I know that they're saying that money will go to the schools and the towns, but for how long? Because other casinos are actually kind of falling apart, it seems.
Right, Rhode Island, yep. That's
and so what could happen to us in the meantime? And I have to admit that I was happy with your vote.
Oh, thank you.
I'm for the way you voted, and but I'm just concerned. And how do you feel? What's going to happen with this? Do you think that it'll pass? And
well, it's great timing for your question, because the paper has reported that both the Speaker of the House and the Senate President have said that we're not going to come back in session to take on the casino bill that Governor Patrick rejected. So, as you know, I voted against casinos. I always have, and I don't think it's going to pass this session. I think the bill is finished. I'm sure some different version will be brought up next year, and so I'm already beginning to work on opposing that. I think that it's a tough issue, but I've always been very clear on it. Is, as you said, is that the jobs that it creates are often very low paying, and it takes away jobs, especially from downtown. So downtown Littleton, downtowns throughout the district I represent. People are going to spend less money at restaurants, going to museums, going to the theater, because all that money is going to go to a big casino, and most of that money will go out of state and often out of the country to foreign developers. So I think it's very bad economic development, and that's that was the main reason I opposed it. I was also very concerned about the social impact, but I have to say the biggest reason was that I thought it would be a net negative in terms of jobs for this area, and at a time when we need to create jobs, that's the worst worst possible sort of economic policy.
Well, I agree with you on that point, but I also feel, you know, working with the seniors and all, I'm worried about, you know, everyone says, well, they're going to go to Rhode Island anyway, but it's a little further, so you don't go as often. And so I'm worried about the seniors using their funds, what little they have, to go gamble thinking you're going to win more. Welfare recipients saying, I'm going to take the little check and I'm going to come home with $1 million today. And you know they're going to come home and say, sorry, but you have to wait for the bread and the milk.
Oh, I know.
You know, and the moral issues, the what are we teaching our kids too? Because, you know, we can close schools, we can close libraries, dear, but we're opening a casino.
Right.
I mean, I really can't see a good thing. Now, I have to tell you this. When I was a kid, my father loved the horse races.
Okay.
And he took me there, you know, even before I was 16 or before you were allowed to go. And I loved the horse races. And, you know, of course, now we're hearing how terrible they're treated and everything, and the dogs and all. But so that was my, you know, introduction to gambling. And yet today I don't like to gamble. My mother enjoyed Foxwood like every other elder person. But so I did enjoy it, but there are people who can't stop it. I mean, they just...
Oh, exactly. And the casinos today are just, you know, it's not your father's gambling, if you will.
That's right.
You know, every machine is designed to get people psychologically addicted to gambling. You know, there's even stories that they take out the clocks from the casinos. They pump in oxygen to keep people awake and keep gambling.
Wow.
So it's really almost a disturbingly scientific approach to getting people to spending every last dime, you know, charging their credit cards to get extra money. So it's really disturbing, and we just don't need that in Massachusetts.
Right, yeah. And I do feel that even if we say that the money is going to go towards the towns or the schools, for how long?
Right, and it's really very little money, because actually, you know, those who are concerned about sort of expanding government bureaucracy, you'd have to create a whole gambling commission and spend literally tens of millions of dollars to prevent the corruption that more often than not happens when you bring casinos to a state.
Sure. Well, I'm sure there's people that'll really disagree with us, but...
Yep, people are split, but, you know, I've always been upfront about my position. So.
Yeah, and I feel firm. I really feel firm, too.
Yes.
So, let's see. Oh, yeah, the other thing is, what do the other casinos feel about this? Because they may offer bigger gift packages to get people to go there, and so they'll be headed that way, too. So there's the other thing that could happen, I imagine.
Yeah. No, that's another detail for people to remember. I know some people, and especially I have to say seniors, talk to me and say, well, I go down to Foxwoods or Mohegan Sun, so I want to have that here. But actually the point is that the gambling market is so diluted that the casinos being proposed here wouldn't have been as big or as nice, and so it wouldn't have been a Foxwood experience. It would be probably smaller, maybe less entertaining, and so it's you know, it's not even talking about bringing Foxwoods here. It's sort of a lowest common denominator, you know, slot machines, which, you know, would just gamble people's money away without, you know, any real entertainment or restaurants to go to. So it's important for people to know that.
Although some people just go for the slots anyway.
Well, that's true. That's true.
But a lot of people do go for the entertainment, and that costs. I mean, if you're going to have a casino and you're going to have any entertainment, people have to realize that now your money is going to go into paying for that entertainment.
Right.
So there takes away some more.
Right. It's not spent locally. Exactly.
Yeah. And you know what I heard? That Michigan and California, did you hear about that? How
no, I don't think so.
The welfare checks.
Oh, yes.
They can get them, go to the ATM machines in the casinos.
Yes.
And cash their, you know, checks.
Yep.
Because it's like a debit card, that the way they get it. I hope we don't do that.
Well, it's interesting you say that was one of the few amendments I got accepted into the bill that would prevent welfare recipients from cashing their checks in a casino.
Really?
So that was accepted. Again, I opposed the whole bill, but I at least wanted to prevent welfare recipients from doing that within a casino.
Oh, so. Excellent. Yeah, because I heard that was really big in California and Michigan right now.
Yes, big problem.
Well, I was kind of worried. I saw that and I went, We're not going to do that here, are we? So I'm happy with you.
Good,
See?
thank you.
There
Thank
you
you.
go.
I'm glad you're happy.
You're on my list, the good list.
That's good. That's good to know.
Stay there.
I know. Believe me, I want to.
So the other thing is the legislature and long-term jobs. What's you know, because we get some, we lose some, and it just seems to. I don't know. I can't say that jobs are going up this way, but losing jobs are going this way. So
yeah, I mean, jobs are increasing in the state. Massachusetts is one of the stronger economies compared to the rest of the United States.
Good.
But I think it is about that long-term investment. So, you know, infrastructure investment. So we've got the funding for the double tracking for the Fitchburg commuter rail, so more people can get into Boston or Cambridge, including from Littleton, and the reverse commute for people that come out here who might work at IBM.
Good.
So we're doing that. We need to get some additional funding for parking at Littleton. So I'm working very closely with the town on that. But it's also about, you know, investing in life sciences and biotech companies, companies like Bristol Myers Squibb at Devens, which we're able to attract here because of the educated workforce, because of higher education, and because of some investment in the state in that company.
good.
So those are pieces, and I think the biggest area for growth is alternative energy. You know, things like Cape Wind, building the wind turbines, the technology that goes into it. Massachusetts has a very educated workforce, so those are exactly the kind of jobs we can attract here. But we need to have a state policy that connects people to, you know, higher education to gain the skills to work in those jobs. So that's a big thing that I'm working on right now.
Great.
Yep. Sounds
like a big job.
It is. It is a job in and of itself to create more jobs. That's
really?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, I'm glad to hear that about Massachusetts, because so many people always say, "Why do you live in Massachusetts?" You know, of all places. It's not only is it cold, but there's taxes, and we happen to love it here. So I kind of feel that I want to hear good things, you know, like you're talking about, and I'm upset that we ever. I mean, I'm sure I don't know that much about it. I'm one of those people that talks to the radio and the television when the news is on. Oh, what do you do? And I yell and I scream. And then I say to my husband, I know I'm only a housewife, but I feel this way. And he'll say, you can be a housewife and have an opinion. You know, you're informed. You watch television. You listen to people and read. But
especially all that you do for the town. Seriously, I mean, you are so generous with your time and do so many good things. Really.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. But and I'm having fun doing it.
Yes, you
it's
do.
My
that's
playtime.
important.
It's my playtime. But anyway, so you know, like I said, I'm always screaming at the television. But I was also upset when we. And I feel like I don't know a lot about it, but that we gave jobs to so many other countries and businesses to so many. I've always been upset about that because I felt like we lost a lot doing that.
Absolutely. And I've done a little bit of work on that. Right now, Massachusetts gives tax breaks to companies, but the amount of money that's given is not public, and the amount of jobs they create is not public. And the frustrating part, and we did see that with a couple companies here, is they took the tax break and then they actually shipped part of their company overseas to China, which was really outrageous.
Oh my.
Yeah, that happened at Devens with Evergreen Solar.
Right.
And so I do think that's why I push to make these tax breaks public, and hopefully the reporting on the jobs created public, so that we can make a decision, do we want to give our tax money to companies if they're shipping jobs overseas, which I emphatically say no.
Right.
But we don't have the public information to make those decisions right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's really, you're right. That has to be worked on.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I'll vote for that too.
Yeah.
I'm making another list right
That's right.
now.
I'm still on your good list. That's good.
I guess that, you know, seeing the seniors in town struggle, you know, trying to keep their head above water, and even, you know, looking for little jobs, and their families, moving in with their families sometimes, and then the family saying, Mom, I don't have a job now. You know, it's hard. It's horrible.
Oh, no. I have so many people call my office and want to sit down, show me their resume about, do you know of any jobs available? And, I give some thought and try to pass along anything I hear, but there's still not many jobs available. It's growing a little bit, but there's still a lot of people out of work, really hurting, and it's, devastating to themselves and their whole family.
Well, sure, because of the house foreclosures.
Oh, yes, yep, that's another
a scary, scary thing.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
I keep thinking, how many people can be out of their homes? And I'm talking generally in the country, not just Massachusetts. I know
Sure.
we're having our problems and everything, but my problem is I watch and say, well, all these people are not able to buy a home. And where are they going? And are there rents available? And
Sure.
we have a daughter and 2 children living with us right now.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
so I can see how things happen
Sure.
to families, and you hope that they have someone they can live with.
Right,
you know.
exactly.
So we have to do something. And I know it's not going to happen tomorrow, and probably not next year. I just hope that it does happen soon, where things start going up.
Yeah. And that is a policy we're working on right now, is sort of, we spend a lot of money on putting homeless families in hotels, which is very expensive.
Right.
Instead, spend that money on building housing for those families, perhaps the support services they need to transition into, becoming more productive members of society. And that's a better use of taxpayer dollars as well. So that's a program actually that the Patrick administration has begun, and I've been a strong supporter as the state senator of it.
Okay, that sounds good too.
Yep.
Yeah, I wonder if many of these people are starting their own little tiny businesses. you
Yes,
know?
some of them are.
And it'll be good if they, like when I was a little kid, a lot of seamstresses.
Oh, sure,
We
yeah.
don't see that much anymore, but that'll
Right.
probably come back, things
Yep.
that the people used to do at home to make money.
Well,
They'll have to.
it's interesting you mentioned that, because last week I took a tour of downtown Marlboro, which I also represent, and we went to a shoe repair store, and he actually said his business is booming because people now are not buying shoes because they have less money, so they're taking their used shoes to the shoe repair store. So his business is actually booming in a time of a recession.
Well, there you go.
So there are some entrepreneurs that are sort of benefiting from that.
Yeah, the old cobbler.
Exactly, yep, so some of that's coming back, exactly.
Yeah, I enjoy finding a cobbler.
Yeah.
and a seamstress. So
Yep, absolutely.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's fabulous. Okay. Now, another thing, elder affairs.
Yes.
How's that coming along? What's happening there?
Well, it's great. I mean, first of all, it's great that there is a Secretariat of Elder Affairs, so that's something that the Patrick administration changed to get that focus on supporting senior services. In 2006, we passed the Equal Choice Law, which basically allows seniors to decide to spend their Medicaid dollars at a nursing home, or if they want to stay home and get home care services, so they can sort of preserve that independence. So we've been implementing the law to make sure that those dollars can go to seniors who want to stay in their homes as opposed to being put in a nursing home. So that's a positive thing. Certainly the budget has been cut back, so we've seen cuts to councils on aging and prescription advantage, and that's very, very frustrating. But with the massive decline in revenues, that's just been the effect across the board. But we did pass legislation. We passed the Silver Alert legislation, which makes it easier for Alzheimer's patients to be located if they happen to be lost, due to their illness. We've passed legislation to protect seniors from fraud, from telemarketers and things like that. So we have been able to pass some legislation. But in terms of the budget, I do acknowledge there have been some painful cuts, and I've just done my best to fight for local dollars. The senior housing in Littleton is the best example. Is that it looked like there wasn't going to be the money to rehab the Pine Street senior housing, and we're able to get that money, working with Representative Jim Arciero to finish the rehab, which looks just beautiful now.
Right,
So,
we've seen it's been worked on.
Yep. So it's really about local legislators fighting to make sure that seniors in their communities get what they deserve.
Well, good, because we do have seniors worried especially about paying for nursing homes, and we have a lady right now. Her husband has to go in a nursing home, and she really is worried.
Oh yes, yeah, yep.
Worried about what it'll cost and where it goes. It's just unbelievable. Well. Okay, so will the 40B be repealed?
Oh yes, that's a big topic of discussion. As you know, there's a referendum to repeal Chapter 40B, which is the affordable housing law that basically allows developers to override local affordable housing, or excuse me, local zoning laws. I think it's going to be a very close vote. I do happen to oppose the referendum because I do support affordable housing, but I think it's going to be a very close vote.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
Yep, absolutely. That'll be coming up November 2nd.
Well, you're making me feel better today. I mean,
well, I'm glad to hear that.
let's hope all this happens, though, you know, and people work on it and you know, do some really good things.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to work on. You know, that's you know, I'm hoping to represent the district again next session, and just looking to, you know, have my doors be open to any problems that, you know, constituents have, including here in Littleton.
Good, good. Well, we probably have a lot more time that we could use to talk about other things. If you have anything else that you want to bring up, anything special?
Well, I do want especially seniors to know that I'll be doing the senior conference again, which I do at the Aspet Valley Technical High School in Marlboro.
Good.
So that'll be in April. So, you know, people should put that on their calendar. I think it's usually the Wednesday or Thursday of the third week in April. So it's free for seniors, a free meal, entertainment, different informational programs. So I'll be looking to do that. Just had a wonderful cookout a couple weeks ago with Representative Arciero here in Littleton, so it was great to see seniors, but you know, if there's any other events coming up, I'd be happy to go, and it's always great to be here in Littleton.
Yeah, they enjoyed that cookout. They really did, and they enjoy seeing the both of you come and feel closer actually to you. They need to know who you are and what you're doing, and partly that's why I wanted you to come here today.
Absolutely.
So, well, yeah, and the business of your conference in April, I really do suggest that they go.
Oh,
because
yes, yeah.
I went for the first time this past year.
Sure,
And
yeah.
I really got a lot of information. I enjoyed some of the speakers, and took home a bunch of pamphlets and everything, and we're using them here at the Council on Aging now.
It's a great tradition. You know, it was started by former Congressman Chet Atkins, and then Paul Cellucci, the former governor, did it when he was the senator. Bob Duran, Pam Reeser, and now, you know, I get to work on it, and it's a real pleasure to continue that tradition.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Yep.
Well, great.
Yep.
Well, one thing is I'm really, really happy that you came today.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
And I wish you all the luck for all the plans that sound like they're going to help.
Yep, absolutely. I'm very engaged in a lot of different public policy areas, you know, supporting seniors, healthcare, education, protecting the environment, and of course creating jobs. So certainly welcome any suggestions from members of your audience to let me know what I should be doing and doing better. Right.
Well, one of the things, and I'm going to just bring it up, I just remembered it, was and you heard about it the tax work-off program, because we had so many people confused and feeling that they actually didn't want to use it because they heard that they were not only getting taxed.
I know the tax situation, I know, which is a federal issue, but we are trying to work on resolving it. So I'm working with Congresswoman Tsongas on that.
Oh, good, because they were asking me if you had been thinking about it at all.
Yes,
and
we
I
got a
know
lot of
it's
calls
probably
about that.
not your area and that it's hard to get information and work on it, but at least you know that, and you can let somebody else know that they are concerned.
Oh, absolutely. And we would like to, you know, expand that program as well as the whole circuit breaker program for seniors. Obviously, right now with the fiscal situation, I don't think we're going to. But my hope is maybe next session we can have a discussion about moving forward and expanding that tax break. There was a story recently in the Boston Globe that even though the value of homes has declined, property taxes continue to skyrocket. And so I know that's a particular burden to seniors, and so that's why we want to expand that circuit breaker to provide some relief to seniors.
Well, that's great, because sometimes you can own your home, but the taxes end up being like a mortgage payment.
Right, exactly.
And that's terrible for seniors who want to stay in their home. And it always feels like, and it's probably not the truth, but it always feels like everything lands on the seniors. I mean, if you're going to make something higher, it's going to be the seniors who pay for it, or or if it's taken away, it's the seniors that get it taken away. And maybe young folk out there don't feel that way, but the seniors certainly do, and because they're the ones feeling it. But
No, I agree. We have a very unfair tax system. I think we have to move towards taxing more on those who have larger incomes or wealth as opposed to just owning property, because that's a big burden on someone who is, on fixed income like Social Security.
Right, right. But at any rate, we know somebody's trying.
Yep, I'm doing my best, and again, thank you for all that you do in the community. I get to see you at all these events. So.
Thanks. Like I said, it's fun for me. But so again, thank you for being here. I really enjoyed having you.
Great, thanks, Barbara.
Okay. And for all of you out there, don't forget to hug a senior.